can tell you right now that I am shocked. I'm shocked about what is going on around the world, shocked about the response that we have here in the United States, and so are many other people. Millions and millions of people are shocked with what we are now seeing. The news and the reports coming from Israel and coming from Gaza. These are shocking to say the least because we didn't expect them. Now, I'm going to address what's going on. I'm going to address why I am so shocked and what we are likely to see in the very near future. So all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So over the past week, we have seen many different stories. We have seen people losing their lives. We've seen children, women hurt. We've seen civilians go without food. This is all just because of this war between Israel and Hamas. Well, here in the United States, we have seen people back up traffic in downtown LA for over 3 hours. We've seen bridges close because people were gluing themselves to the bridge and to the street. We've seen protests in schools. We've seen it in colleges, in workplaces. We've seen it in libraries, sporting events, and so much more. But here's what's going on, and this is why I am shocked. Because the response from the Biden administration, it has been very lackluster. Look at this. It says hostages were carrying white cloth when shot, according to the IDF. That's just one story. I'll get to that in a moment. Another one says Al Jazeera journalist bleeds to death after Israeli strike in Gaza. It's another story. Here's another one, which again to me is shocking. IDF sniper kills 2 women inside a Gaza church. How does this happen? How does any of this stuff happen? Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this story here. There were 3 hostages that were carrying around a white flag, and I addressed this the other day. I actually addressed it earlier on today as well. But these 3 hostages were carrying a white flag, which means they're there to negotiate, they're there to surrender, they just want to talk, they are unarmed. Do not shoot them, and you will not be shot by them either. That's what a white flag symbolizes in the world. Yet, these soldiers shot them. All 3 of them lost their lives. This one, how do we accept the fact that a journalist who is just trying to, go and talk about and just address the issue, right? Report on what is happening. How do they lose their life, right? How does this happen? And what is the response from, the rest of the world? And then this one, where 2 women inside of a Gaza church are shot. I want to go ahead and read this, okay? It says right here, we're going to read this. The majority of Christian families inside Gaza have taken refuge inside the parish since the start of the war. It says the 2 women described as a mother and daughter were walking in the sisters' convent. One was killed as she tried to carry the other to safety. 7 others were also shot and wounded in the attack. No warning was given. No notification was provided. They were shot in cold blood inside the premises of the parish where there were no belligerents. Again, how does this happen? This is why I'm shocked. Okay? I'm not shocked that people are losing their lives. Yes, this is going to happen, but I am shocked that where is the Biden administration calling out to pretty much end this? Right? We've heard President Biden say that he doesn't agree with Benjamin Netanyahu. He believes that what he's doing is wrong. He believes that there needs to be more protection to the civilians of Gaza. But where is any of this stuff coming from? Why are we not seeing more of a demand? Well, we're not seeing this demand because President Biden has another issue. He wants to send an additional $60 billion to Ukraine, and he understands the money that's going to Ukraine is going to hinge on money going to Israel and Gaza. There's 2 things here. So if he wants money to go to Ukraine, right, there's money that also is tied to Israel and Gaza, And here's the other thing. The American people would go insane. And the world would just flip if during these times of war, the United States decides to send $60 billion to Ukraine and not to Israel. Think about it. Why would we send money to Ukraine and not Israel when we're trying to help them both? We can't. So the Biden administration says we have to send money to Ukraine because we cannot let Russia win this war. But if we do that, we also have to send money to Israel and to Gaza. But how do we do that? Right? So this, according to multiple reports out just this afternoon, they're saying that the Biden administration wants to hide a lot of these stories. They want media to not report on these stories. Because when we see them, right, the American people see these, then they question, why are we enabling this country to go in and attack civilians? Well, it's a bigger issue. It's not Israel, it's not Gaza, it's Ukraine. That's the issue. That's the reason why. And I just wanted to throw this out there because I know a lot of people have been asking, why doesn't the Biden administration just say, no, we're not going to give you any money, we're not going to help you at all, right? We recommend a ceasefire, and if you do not do it, we're going to place sanctions on you. Just because Israel's our closest ally in the Middle East, right? If they all of a sudden turn and they're not, our views don't align, does it make sense that they will be our closest ally in the Middle East? Possibly not. And that's the concern. That's why some people are saying, well, what are we doing? And this is why I'm so shocked, is the response from the Biden administration has pretty much been non-existent. There are things that we could do. There are sanctions we could place on Israel. But as of right now, what lawmakers are discussing is there should be conditions. There should be conditions where if Israel meets these certain conditions, then we send them our aid, send them additional funding, right? More munitions, whatever they need. But if those conditions are met, we don't send this aid package. But then the Biden administration says, no, we shouldn't have any conditions on this funding. It should just be, here's your $14.3 billion, use it as you wish. Well, we're going to see. Because the one thing I can tell you is if we see more stories like these, like this one and this one and this one, well, the concern is going to be, well, we had the time to stop it. We had the opportunities, but we did nothing. So, here in the United States, here's what I'm expecting. Over the next few weeks, I expect we are going to see a real push for this funding for Israel, for Gaza, and for Ukraine. We're already seeing this push for Ukraine. But it is tied to not just funding, but for stricter border policies. So over the next few weeks, expect all this stuff to be pretty much packaged into one bill and see a vote on it. Whether this bill passes or not, I don't know. My expectation is that there's going to be a lot of pushback, and both Republicans and Democrats are not going to get exactly what they want. So whether or not they decide to pass these bills, well, that's up in the air. But the one thing I can promise you is I will be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. All you got to do is two things. First, hit the like button on this video and click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. But that is what we have for you guys today. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.